someone leaves you money with one condition, and you know in your gut that condition was the whole point, are you obligated to honor it, even if it means your siblings walk away with nothing? Because that's exactly where I'm standing right now, and honestly, I'm not sure I did the right thing. I'm not sure I did the wrong thing either. I donated $400,000 that my brothers and sister believe is theirs by blood, and the family hasn't been the same since. So, am I wrong? Okay, let me give you the actual picture. My grandmother, we called her Nana Bet, passed away 14 months ago. She was 81, sharp until the very end, and she had opinions. Strong ones, about money, about family, about what people do when nobody's watching. She raised four grandchildren who mattered to her: me, my brother Derek, my brother Callum, and my sister Priya. Our parents were mostly absent. That's a whole other story, so Nana Bet was it for us. She was the one at every school play, every graduation, every messy Sunday dinner. She was the foundation. And when she died, she left a will, a very specific will. The estate was split between her four grandchildren equally, about 100,000 each, with one clause attached to my share specifically. Just mine, the clause said, if I chose to distribute my portion, I was to use it in a way that reflected her values. That's the exact language, her values. We all knew what that meant. Nana Bet spent the last decade of her life volunteering at a housing nonprofit. She talked about it constantly. She believed, genuinely believed, that inherited wealth sitting in a family that already had enough was a waste. She said it at the dinner table. She said it at Christmas. She put it in her will. Now my siblings each got their 100,000. No clause, no condition, theirs to spend however they wanted. Mine came with that one sentence, and I took it seriously. Derek bought a car and paid off credit cards. Callum put a down payment on a rental property. Priya took a trip to Southeast Asia and redecorated her apartment. None of that is a criticism, it's their money. But I kept thinking about Nana Bet sitting across from me at her kitchen table, saying, the point of having something is knowing when to pass it on. So I researched. I found a housing organization she had actually volunteered with, not a random charity, the one she loved, and I donated the full 100,000 in her name. And then, because I had a small amount of savings set aside from her estate's personal items that were left to me separately, I matched it with an additional 300,000 I'd been sitting on from a property sale 2 years prior. 400,000 total, gone. To a cause she would have wept over in the best way. I thought it was the right thing. I thought I was honoring her. My siblings found out through the nonprofit's donor recognition page. It listed my name, the amount, the dedication. Priya called me first. You gave away $400,000? Like I'd burned it in the backyard. I said, Nana Bet's share went to the place she loved. The rest was mine to give. Priya said, the rest was $300,000. Are you serious right now? And I said, yes, completely serious. That's when Derek got on a group call. He was calmer at first, but then he said something that stuck with me. We all could have used that money. You didn't ask us. You didn't even tell us you were doing it. And okay, fair point, I didn't tell them. Not because I was hiding it, but because I didn't think I needed permission to donate my own savings. But Derek kept going. Nana Bet didn't leave that 300 to charity. She left your 100 to charity, the rest of it was yours free and clear. You chose to make a statement with money you could have used to help us. Callum barely spoke on that call, which was somehow worse. He just said at the end, I needed a cosigner for the rental property. I asked you twice. You said you didn't have the liquidity. And that one landed, because he's right. 2 months before the donation, he asked me, and I said I was still figuring out the estate, which was true, but I also knew at that point that I was planning the donation. I just hadn't told anyone yet. So was I being principled, or was I just avoiding a hard conversation with my brother? Here's the thing I keep turning over. The donation was real and it was right, I believe that. Nana Bet's values were not ambiguous. But the 300,000 I added from my own money? I didn't have to do that. Nobody asked me to. The will didn't cover it. I could have donated the 100, honored the clause, and kept the rest. Maybe helped Callum cosign. Maybe just held it. Instead, I went bigger, and part of me, and I hate admitting this, part of me wanted to. Not out of generosity alone, out of something that felt a little bit like proving a point, like saying, I'm the one who actually understood her. Priya said that to my face. She said, this wasn't about Nana Bet. This was about you wanting to be the favorite grandchild even after she's gone. I told her that was cruel. I told her she was projecting. And then I hung up and I sat with it and I thought, is she wrong? Because here's the update. 3 weeks after the donation went public, the nonprofit posted about it on their social media. They called it one of the most meaningful gifts they'd received in years. People in the comments were sharing it, calling it beautiful, tagging it as a tribute. And I screenshotted it and I almost sent it to the group chat. I stopped myself, but I almost did. What does that say about why I really did it? Callum still hasn't co-signed on the property. He found another way, but he told me it cost him more in the long run. Derek sent me a single text that said, Hope it was worth it. Priya came to my apartment for coffee last week, which felt like progress, but when I mentioned Nana Bet, she changed the subject, and that's never happened before. Not once in our lives. So here's where I land, and it's not a comfortable place. I honored a dead woman's values with money that was legally mine to give. The cause was real, the intent was real, and somewhere underneath all of it, so was the ego. I didn't lie to my siblings, but I didn't talk to them either. I didn't steal from them, but I said no to Callum and then wrote a check to a stranger 2 months later. I did something genuinely good, and I cannot fully separate it from the part of me that wanted to be the one who did it. And now the family is fractured in this quiet, polite, nobody screaming anymore way that almost feels worse. So honestly, am I the problem here? I honored her. I know I honored her. But did I do it for her or did I do it for me? I genuinely don't know, and I'm not sure knowing would change anything. Honestly, though, what would you have done? Comment below.